welcome to So Many Whatnots. I'm Willow and I'm a quilter from Central Pennsylvania. And this is my channel where I share about my quilting. Today we have Scotty with us. Say hello, Scotty. She's loafing around right now. My cats typically don't ever come to say hi, so it's kind of cool. She showed up today. She's my fully indoor cat. Oh, goodness gracious. She loves the scritches. Okay, bye. That was so cool. She showed up. Wow. So this week was interesting. Oh, do you want to come up again? Oh, goodness. We're purring. She's purring. Say hello. Say hi. She's not impressed. You go down now. No, she's staying. So this week, I was sick on and off all week. Some days I felt pretty good. Other days I was just down for the count. So, it wasn't the greatest week. The past 2 days I felt really pretty awful. But today I'm doing all right. I almost put a post up that I wouldn't be doing a video today. And then I woke up. I said, well, let's just wait till tomorrow, see how I'm feeling. And I woke up a lot better than I had been. So, unfortunately, because I was sick, I missed my son's indoor lacrosse game, which is a bummer because I seem to have not made it to any of them this season. His regular season starts in the fall, and the winter is just like these little, really short games at an indoor facility nearby. And so that's kind of a bummer. He missed a few also because of, Christmas and the holidays. And I think he was on a college visit. So I think he's only played 2 or 3 times. And I have been sick I know I was sick for 2 of them. So 'tis the season. With my Graves, one of the meds I'm on says, stay away from sick people because it makes you more susceptible to catching everything. And I'm like, I have 2 kids in public school. I cannot stay away from the germs. Like, it's impossible. So, so I kind of catch everything, but typically it's not as bad as it would be like normally. Like, when you get sick, you get really sick. Well, I don't. It just kind of lingers forever. So, anyways, moving on. I am a little rambly this morning. Let's see what else happened this week. That's pretty much it. I did not get a lot of sewing done because of how I felt. So I actually spent more time on like my Bible studies and reading books than I did on sewing. Usually I sew more than I do anything else, but I finished 1 book, 1.5 books this week. Like, I read a lot. And that's not including the book I was listening to while I was sewing. So yeah, it's been a week. So yeah, that's kind of the update. Let's see what next. Let me look at my list here. Okay, so what I did this week. Bear Paw. I worked a little bit on Bear Paw. I took a day when I was feeling pretty well, and I got them. I'm not sure if I had them all sewn together. I have one left that I didn't have marked. So I marked this one. Those need sewn together. And then I ironed them all. Well, I pressed them. Ironing is moving, pressing is literally just pressing. I don't know another word for pressing. You just hold the iron there. So I got these all pressed, and I still have to trim. I still have to trim them. Let me just take this off. Okay, so I make my half square triangles bigger. Where is the... I have been using the Bear Paw quilt block pattern that is free on Fat Quarter Shop. And they say the half square triangle unit should measure 2.5 by 2.5. So you end up, it says to cut out 2 7/8. Where's B? Are those B? Yeah, 2 7/8 inch. I think I just cut 3 because it's just easier than 2 7/8, you know. So I just cut 3-inch squares, and then I trim them down because it's a lot easier to do that way. So let me get this back together. You can never see what I'm doing the way I have my camera set up. Okay, so these are all pressed. And these are the last of the blocks. I have a ton of stuff. I showed these in a different video, but like these are all the finished blocks. Totally unorganized and just kind of thrown up there. So usually I have one on my board back here, but I don't at the moment. So I just love these. This is such a great fabric line. This is Threads of Grace by Cassidy Grace. Oh gosh, guys, I just look at this. These are so pretty. I'm not going to show all of them because I have already showed them to you in another video. I love this like mustard. How incredibly cute is that? That's so cute. Okay. So here's my mess of finished blocks, and some of them are already pressed and some aren't. So I'm really making a mess here. I don't know where to put these now that I made a mess of them. So, okay, anyways, where was I? So then I trimmed them up and I matched them up to how they'll, you know, how I need to sew them together. I marked them, I stuck a pin in them. And I only put one pin in because I'll end up taking this pin out and pinning straight up and down because that's how I like to pin. But just to hold everything like together, kind of have them already matched up, so it makes it a lot quicker. So I have these all ready to sew together. And I have them all marked. They're all pinned. So yeah, so these are ready. The others need to get ready, but at least I have some couch sewing to do on this because I really want to get this quilt top finished and put together. I am still quilting my lattice quilt, and I have not, I don't think I worked on that at all this week because I was just like not, I just wanted to read. Sewing can take a lot of energy even when you're sick, and I just wanted to lay in bed and read, and you know, laying down and sewing doesn't really work that well. So yeah, so I didn't really sew much at all. But I did get that done. Okay, so that's where I'm at on Bear Paw. And let's see. Oh, okay. So I actually have some really exciting news that I hinted at last week. And I thought I would have more news than I do, but I only have a little bit of news. Okay, so as we know, I love Riley Blake fabric. The Threads of Grace by Cassidy Grace is Riley Blake. My Lori Holt quilt is Riley Blake. I love Riley Blake. So I had applied to be a maker, not an influencer. They get paid. But I applied to be a maker and I got accepted. And I thought that was great. And so what that means is I will be able to get some free fabric from Riley Blake, and then I will make whatever I want with it. I can make a quilt, I can make a bandana, I can make a little bag, whatever I want to make with it, I can make. And then all I do is share my project. So I basically say, hey, in exchange for, or what they're saying is, in exchange for free fabric, can we, show what you make? So that's really cool and that's really fun. And I'm really excited. Unfortunately, I was not quick enough to get any fabric in the first round. There are, I think, like 60, probably about 60 of us, maybe 65. And I can't remember how many they had in the first round, but it was like, I want to say like 14 or 15 bundles. So I tried really hard, but I didn't type quick enough to get one. So I'm hoping the next round I will be able to get something, but I also don't want to just grab fabric that I'm not going to like and I don't want to use. And so the first round, there were like 5 that I was really interested in, 2 I really wanted, and 1 that I would have been ecstatic to get. But it's also different amounts and stuff. And so where I prefer quilting, like some of the amounts just didn't go well. So anyways, I'm really excited for the next round. So hopefully I can snag something on that one that is not only useful, but something I can share with you guys also that is, the type of stuff I do. I don't want to get something that I don't really care for and then make something I don't really like just to be a part of the program. I want to, make sure I'm using the program to the benefit of everybody, including Riley Blake. So that's really exciting. Okay, I am sorry if this video is very choppy, but I still have a cough, so I'll be editing out a lot, and there's going to be a lot of just like hard transitions. So sorry about that. Lots of coffee today. Okay. We are 15 minutes in-ish. All right, we went over Bear Paw, Riley Blake. Okay, so I think I just want to talk about the farmer's wife just a little bit. Okay, so because I was sick this week, I only got 2 videos done. And that's okay. I had intended to get 3. My intention every week is to get 3 every week. But like I said in other videos, some weeks might only be 1, some might be 3, some might be 2. So this week, it's 2. And I'm not upset about that because I was sick on and off, and they take a while to record. Okay, so they don't so much take a while to record. But they do, because I record the entire process. The first one I'll have up Wednesday. I just got it edited this morning. And so that will be up Wednesday, and then we'll see if I edit the other one today or tomorrow. That one will go up Thursday. So then the videos I make this week will be for next week. And so this week is, I didn't write them down. I think number 16 and number 20 are the ones I got done this week. The prep video is up already. That was from last week. And okay, and then the 2 blocks. So that's pretty exciting. Now I'm not exactly sure, and this will kind of get changed as we go along, but I've been going back and forth between, okay, so the videos are, I talk a little bit and then I sew, and I don't talk the whole time I'm sewing. So I put music there, and then I'll stop and I'll talk more about the next step just a little bit, and then I'll put music on and do my sewing, and then it just keeps going on like that. So talk music. And so the issue, which isn't an issue, it's more like a preference thing, and I'm not sure what everybody wants. So the parts where I'm not talking, that are just music, I could leave. And the first video, I am leaving at normal speed. And then, so there's that option to have it at normal speed, so you can literally sew along with me, literally trace and cut out the pieces with me. Or I can make shorter videos by speeding those sections up and making them like 2 to 4 times as fast as normal. So I'm just going to play with it. The first video, I think it's about 45 minutes-ish. I would have to look. And the second one, actually, let me look. I kind of wrote down how long it took me to make. So the first one, I'm rounding these up. So the first one says an hour, but it's like 45 minutes. And the second one says 2 hours. So, there's some that are going to take a lot longer than that. And I'm going to leave this because I'm going to talk about it. So basically, would you guys prefer the sped up parts where I'm like sewing and not talking and not explaining? Or would you like to sew along with me and have really long videos? I'm not even sure. Oh, they take so long to upload. Depending on the time of day, it can take longer to upload the video than the length of the video. So, and that doesn't really matter, because while I sit here and watch it upload, either sew or do my Bible study for the day or do something, so that's not a problem. But anyways, let me know what you would prefer. This week, I think I will, I haven't edited the second video. So if I get a lot of response before I edit that video, I might tweak that. The first video is all real time. Maybe I'll do sped up in the second video, and then you guys can tell me which one you prefer. I might do that. Okay, so the ones I did this week, and I've showed you guys this one before. I did not do this one this week. This is not a video. I just put it up there because it looks cool and it matches. I have these others back here that don't really match because they don't have any solids in them. And they don't have any that really read as solids. So Like this one has no solids in it, but that is so tiny there. It kind of looks solid. So, anyways, so this week we have number 16, Bonnie, which is the first video. And I'm sorry. Wow, I wrote 16 on both of these. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me look at my computer. Okay, this one is number 16, and this one is number 20, and that's Caroline. I need to change that. Oh my goodness. Number 20. Goodness, I'm normally a little airheaded, but when I'm sick, my brain just completely leaves the building. Or house. House is a building, so. Yeah, so exciting. I'm really excited about these. Yeah, that's what's going on. And that's all the notes I have for the farmer's wife. But that's a little bit of an update there. So I think I need to clean my walls. There's marks. I just need to paint. I really need to paint. And yeah, that's just not going to happen anytime soon. Oh boy. Okay. Because all I need is another project, right? Like I don't have enough already. All right. Where are we? I didn't write down a ton of notes today. Okay. That's all I have worked on this week. So that is all my in progress stuff that I've worked on. Acquisitions. Okay. So last week I said I couldn't remember what I got. And I looked back and figured it out. So last Monday, what's it? The Monday before? I don't know. At some point, I got some stuff in the whole mess of sales that was during and after Thanksgiving and Christmas. And yeah, so I figured out what I got that I haven't showed you guys. First was some rulers because they had rulers on a really good sale. So I got a 10-inch square ruler. Oh, let me take the paper off if I can because you really can't see the ruler well with the paper on it. Sorry. Oh, it's a Monday. Why do I do these on Mondays? I am not with it on Mondays. Okay. So this is a 10-inch square ruler. And this is just the Missouri Star brand. So it doesn't have the, you see these little grippy things on this one. This is a Creative Grids. So I got this 10-inch, and I got this for, I don't know why. Why did I get this? I think I had a reason. I think it was to square up my 10-inch squares. Oh, wow. Okay, that's bad because they're already 10 inches. I need to go down, not the same. Okay, anyways, I have a 10-inch square. So oops. Yeah. So that's just now in my collection. Oh boy. Okay. I have to put this one back in here because I use that all the time. Okay. And then I got a 2.5 by 8 ruler. Again, it has the stuff on the back, but that is 2.5 by 8. And then I got a Dresden because I want to make a Dresden plate quilt someday. I love all these like traditional quilts. So, you know, like the log cabin and the wedding ring, the Dresden plates. So yeah, I got a Dresden plate ruler. And I do have one, but for some reason it's different and I'm not sure. I don't know why. Anyways, Dresden. So that's exciting. And, you know, another idea that I have that it's so many quilts I want to make and not enough time. If I did machine piecing like regularly, I would have time to do it. But I really like hand sewing, so. Oh, the other thing I didn't do, because I wasn't feeling well, I didn't work on my son's puff quilt. And I'd really like to get that done. And I didn't have the time. So maybe this week. Okay, so the other thing I got was French Market by Jera Brandvig by Maywood Studio. And this was just on a really good sale and it was cute. And so I got it. I don't have plans for it. I'm not going to open it up, but I will show you. There's some browns. All kinds of, there's some pinks. There's a light pink. They're just really pretty. Really, really pretty. I have no idea what to make with this, and it's probably going to sit for a long time. There's some greens and yellows. I'm not going through all of them. I'm just kind of, there's the creams. So yeah, it's really pretty. And I have no idea what I'm going to do with it, but I thought it was pretty and it was on a really good sale. I want to say it was like 40 or 50% off, which, I mean, that's pretty good to me. I have no idea. No clue. I will figure it out eventually. I need to put that back in the bag since it won't get used anytime soon that I am aware of. Which leads me to my next thing I wanted to share. Buckets. Oh, I also got these. These are not for sewing, but I also got these transparent sticky notes off Amazon. And they're super cute. And these are just, you know, to write little notes on. They get stuck in my Bible. So there's just lots of different colors. And then I got just some notepads, colored notepads. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I did show it in another video. Oh, well, I guess I have it right here. I could show it real quick. I do like, I do stuff like this. I write lots of notes when I study. And, yeah. Some pages have a lot, some have a little bit. Let's see here. And so, let me look to, I think in Joshua, yeah. Joshua has a lot of sticky notes in it. And these are like the transparent, like the ones I just got, but regular sticky notes. And so, yeah, I mean, I take a lot of notes and, sometimes sticky notes just help for whatever reason. Then I have extra pages. So like I didn't really have enough space or This one might have been, I just kind of wanted it bigger, so I just put it, you know, like that. Anyways, so that's what those notepads are for. And so these actually came this morning. So these are fun. Rainbow colors. I love bright rainbow colors. Let me put this in my drawer. Have a little bit of coffee. There is not enough coffee for today. All right, so buckets. I was going to talk about, oh my goodness. Well, that's what happens when you get fabric out, right? Okay. Typically I keep all my in-progress projects in baskets if I can. So like, we move, I have, you know, those. I have one of these, you know, baskets, buckets, bins, whatever. But I have projects that I'm either not working on at the moment, or this one I don't have enough room in my basket. So, and it's 2 projects. So I have these buckets, and I'm not sure where they're from, probably a big box store. And I just put everything in here that I need. So I'm doing, with the sunbonnet, I have like all this stuff because I have 2 quilts planned for this. I'm working on my cathedral windows, and then also I am actually going to make an applique sunbonnet dolls onto 10-inch squares. And so I just wanted, I wanted all my stuff kind of organized to where I know where it's at, but all this stuff, these are for the cathedral windows. And then I have, you know, some already organized into how many are needed for each block. I'll just show you a block real quick. But if you've been here a while, you have seen these already. So there's that. I think I showed it last week. Here's one that's in the works and has been for a long time because I haven't worked on it at all. That one should go on top. Maybe I'll work on it a little bit. So anyways, I am still sewing the squares, and there's a ton of them. So I just don't need all this out right now. I mean, it's a lot. These need cut into little squares. They need, you know, put into little piles, because I don't want one of these to be all one color. I want a variety. So I kind of like just put them in groups. So these are currently in the bin with the stuff I have for the sunbonnet Sue that I'm going to make. So there's like 2 quilts in this bucket. So I can put it out of the way while I work on the stuff that's in my baskets. And so another reason I'm doing this is because I'm starting to collect fabric for Dear Jane and Alice's Wonderland, I think it's called. And so let me see if I have those books right up front here. I have 2 of them. Where is my Dear Jane? Hello, where are you? Dear Jane has temporarily disappeared. Okay, so Alice's Wonderland sampler. I am collecting Liberty fabrics for this. I may use some, is it Tilda, I believe. I may mix and match because, oh, Liberty's really expensive, and the one supplier I know here, it's so expensive. So, yeah, so this is going to go in a bin, and I need to find all the lids. That's a whole nother story. The lids are, I garden, and I like to start all my plants indoors in February and March. So my house becomes like this greenhouse basically. And I used all these for that. But this year, it's just too much to do that for me this year. And so I'm kind of scaling down. I have my herb garden, and then like my vegetable garden, I'm really scaling back on, and I'm just gonna buy some of the plants I need. Most stuff that we use, I can start from seed out there, like carrots, cucumbers, green beans, peas. Like most of the stuff we eat, I can start. There's a few things that I'll need plants for: broccoli, cauliflower, couple tomato plants. Yeah, not a whole lot. So anyway, so I'm not starting all this stuff in solo cups, and so I don't need all these bins. And they just help to carry stuff outside when you harden off the plants. So they're very convenient, but I don't need them this year because I'm doing things different. So I'm cleaning them out. So the lids are probably in my garage somewhere, and that thing is like a tiny little house. It's huge. So good luck finding them in there. So I'm collecting fabric. I'll be putting them in bins. So I'll have the book in the bin. I'll have the fabric on, in the bin, and then I'll just label it. And those can get stacked up wherever. And then when I'm ready for a new project, all of it's together. I don't have to go looking for it. This one and the Dear Jane, this is the Farmer's Wife from the 1920s. So this is another Farmer's Wife I want to do by hand. And that one's so cool. They're all so cool. Anyway, so I have started collecting fabric for the Farmer's Wife and Dear Jane. And I want to do more traditional reproduction, or fabric that kind of looks older. Those will each have their own bin also. And so I'll just be able to collect, stash, and when I'm ready to work on one, I can pull out the whole bin. And then the books don't get lost like Dear Jane, wherever she is right now. I have no idea where that's going to bother me. I'm going to have to find that when I'm done recording. That's annoying. I don't like that. Anyways, so that is all I have for today. But we're only at 40 minutes. So I thought I would just answer some questions, and I do not have them written out or anything, but I figured I would just go through. Okay, how do I do this? View all. Okay. And I'm just going to answer some questions. This one's actually not a question, and I do need to answer this, but from the Farmer's Wife sampler quilt prep video, Liba Austin said she has the old book, copyright 2009, and then it has 111 blocks, and I'm wondering, I think This is the 2009 book, and we're doing this one. So there are two books. This is the first one, and these have the letters from the 1920s and 111 blocks. This is the 1930s book, and this one has 99 blocks. So this is, they're different quilts. They're not going to have the same blocks. There might be a few that are the same. I honestly don't know. I haven't compared them. So you can still sew along with us, but the videos aren't going to be the same. And there's going to only be 99 videos. So if you want to do the quilt along, pick up the 1930s Farmer's Wife. And they're both by the same author. They're just different eras. Different decades, which 20s and 30s were pretty different. Okay, so let's see. Then we have... Do you remember what the backing fabric is to the Georgetown quilt? It's wonderful. And that's from Samantha Rice. Okay, so the Georgetown backing was part of the Sandalwood by Three Sisters. Is that Moda? I think that's Moda. I'll put a photo up when I go to edit. And it was a wide back, 108-inch wide back from the collection. So I don't know the exact name of that specific fabric, but it was from the collection, Sandalwood by Three Sisters. And I think that's a Moda. All right, let's see here. Okay, Slight House 1 asked about the book. Is there another one? Yes, there is. And I just talked about that. Let's see. Okay, the prep video. Kathy Strickland asked when the next video will be. And yes, the 14th, Wednesday, the 14th will be the first video for the blocks. And then this week we have, so Wednesday and Thursday, the 14th and 15th. All right, let's see if there's any others. Whoops. I am trying. Okay. Love the quilt behind you. Is there a pattern and could you share name? That's from Isabel Charles. And that is regarding this quilt. And this is called Flea Market Flowers. And that's by Lori Holtz. And it's a Riley Blake. And the fabric I used, I believe, is called Flea Market. And when did I start that? I started it before we moved. So it was either 2020 or 2021. And then I finished it after we moved here. So somewhere around 2020 to 2021 is when that would have come out. Let's see here. Okay, so from quilting vlog number 7, Paulina asked if my cardigan was handmade and if I could share the pattern. It is not. I mostly made socks and I only made a few sweaters when I knit, but that's actually one off of Amazon. So I don't even know like what it's called or anything, but it's acrylic and it's not very comfortable, but it's, you know, it goes with my dresses, so it works. It would be great in like a wool, in like a merino wool. Oh, that would be, now I miss knitting. Okay, let's see. I have one reel because I don't like making them. And Jess5 says, why not use basting spray or safety pins? is this better or just another option? And she's referring to thread basting, if thread basting is better. No. For me, yes. I prefer thread basting because I do a lot of hand quilting in a hoop, and I do use safety pins too. But every time you move the hoop, you're moving safety pins or taking them out, or they're just being smashed in the hoop, and it's just but safety pins are what I used when I didn't use a hoop and I did it by hand, and it worked just fine. Basting spray I only used once, and that was my very first quilt that I machine quilted. So I quilted on a little tiny machine. I think it was a Singer, was my first one. And so, like, I just don't use basting spray. I don't know how it would work for hand quilting. Maybe somebody who's used it for hand quilting could share in the comments. But yeah, I don't use basting spray, so I don't really have an opinion on it for hand quilting. I do safety pins and thread basting. I do thread basting. I prefer thread basting, but like my last quilt, I didn't have time. So I just stuck all the safety pins in there I could. Okay, let's see where I am on time. I might do a few more if I see any. And I'm not really seeing any more. Oh, HRHDMKYT. Thank you. Gave me the pronunciation for my French General fabric. The French General line is pronounced joie de vivre. Joie de vivre. And I will never remember that. I probably won't ever remember that. And next time I go to like work on that project, which I haven't started yet, I'll bring it out and be like, what de what? You know, I am so sorry. But thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Because it is always good to be able to pronounce the fabric you're using. I just I can't. And I think I pretty much answered everybody else's questions. I get a lot of questions about where I'm from and if I'm near other people. And I am in the Harrisburg area. I don't live in Harrisburg, but I'm in that area. So I know there's a few people from Gettysburg. And I think I'm about an hour. I do need to make it down to Gettysburg soon though, because my youngest son just loves anything dealing with wars, and he's mostly into World War II, and he's been to like he went to something in Reading with his aunt at some airfield, and he brought home like literally a real grenade. I mean, obviously deactivated, but he comes home with this grenade. This thing is heavy. So yeah, I have got to get him to Gettysburg because he will love it. I remember going as a kid, and I remember getting this little tank pencil sharpener. It was just the cutest thing in the world at some gift shop. So I'm losing my voice. I think it's probably time to go. So, thank you guys for showing up again. We're over 800 subscribers, so I just want to say I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I feel very grateful that you guys like what I'm doing. So, okay, I will see you next Monday. But don't forget, Wednesday and Thursday, there will be videos. And I am trying to get those like scheduled for like noon, I think, on those days. But just keep an eye out. We're just kind of going with the flow and figuring out like how this is all going to work. Because I've never run a quilt along, sew along, or anything before. So we're just kind of playing it by ear. Go with the flow and see what happens. So yeah. All right. We'll see you next week, guys. Thank you. Bye.